So for a while now, there's been rumors floating around about the late Virgil, Nike, and his iconic off-white collection, which there's so many unreleased samples which have been floating around for years now. Sneakerheads, they've been looking to get their hands on these, and with 26 right around the corner, rumors of the off-white Air Jordan 1 set to return. I feel like next year could potentially be a great year for a lot of these samples to maybe hit the streets. I don't know. Plus, on top of that, let's not forget, we got the Virgil Air Force 1 Sesame, which is reportedly supposed to drop sometime coming up this year. And it doesn't stop there, as it looks like Nike has announced the Virgil Abloh, the Code's 10-day exhibition, which will run in Paris from September 30th to October 9th. So if you're in your area, I would highly encourage you guys to check this out. Activations will feature talks with athletes, designers, partners, along with workshops, and a dive into Virgil's Nike archive. Plus, today, Nike just put out this really great article, The History of Virgil Abloh's The 10, which Virgil said, quote, remember this iconic collection, he said, we're talking about here is larger than sneakers, it's larger than design culture, it's nothing short of state-of-the-art design. These 10 shoes have broken barriers in performance and style. So he's talking about that initial first run of 10 shoes, which remember, they broke it down. You had that first run, then the second run, to which he said that first pair, the inspiration was revealing. Remember, this is the stripped down, distressed type of looks that we saw right here, which a lot of people thought was intricate, but it was very approachable from a design perspective. As far as that second batch, he referred to the design process or the inspiration as ghosting. Remember, we had a lot of translucent type looks. So that was the first 10. The second 10, comment down below. Let me know if you guys picked up any of these pairs throughout the years. And, let me know what was some of your favorite off-white Virgil releases throughout the years, which thankfully enough, Complex, they did go ahead and do a ranking of the greatest off-white Nike releases of all time, which we could be here all day looking through these pairs. Remember, they literally dropped 50 different pairs of dunks. So we're gonna briefly skim through these, which as far as the number one, there's a pair which I feel like has gotta top as far as like the number one on the list. So we'll see if it lands there. Coming in at number 76, you got the off-white Nike Terraforma, which if I'm not mistaken, this was the very first like all original silhouette which Virgil and Off-White dropped through Nike. One of the later releases, of course, after his untimely passing. I thought these weren't too bad. My favorite, of course, would be this wheat pair, which I still see some people rocking these, from time to time, which again, joints ain't too bad. I feel like they're definitely like not deserving to be at the bottom of the list, which at number 72, you got these soccer joints right here. 71, the off-white Converse Chuck Taylors. Definitely remember these joints, which they dropped in 2018. You got the iconic hang tag, off-white branding, keeping things simple but yet effective. This is one of the later or middle like off-white releases, right after the initial first couple of runs, right? Here, I remember these two. Nobody really cared too much about these when they dropped. This is one of like the first off-white releases, which like resale prices weren't crazy, like something that people actually were able to grab. And there wasn't too much like crazy stuff happening. Again, with this one, 2018, the off-white Nike Blazer Low. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, like these definitely weren't it. For me, like these gotta be like one of the worst, which dropped back in 2022. Got the Vapor Street. I think these ones don't get as much love. I feel like any of these off-white Nike collabs, which featured the spikes on the bottom, that was a design element that like people weren't really rocking with. But at the time, I just thought it was so different, and that's kind of what we looked for with these off-white collabs. So I thought those weren't too bad, right? Some crazy colors. There you go again. The tempos, similar. Those dropped back in 2021. I ain't gonna lie, like I don't even remember these joints dropping right here. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Got a whole bunch of different colors. The off-white Nike Court Flare Serena. Okay, yeah, so Serena Williams was getting a lot of exclusive stuff too. Here we got the rubber dunks. Those were interesting. That was before we got the 50 different dunks, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the rubber dunks. The green stripe. This was like that whole skate shoe aesthetic really started to pop off. Virgil was always on the latest trends. The Nike Waffle Racer, 2019. Bro, we're only in the 50s right now. We gotta keep things moving, y'all. Yeah, those, nah. I don't even remember those, if we being real. What do they call these? The Nike Zoom Terra Kaga. All right. Okay, and then here we get into the off-white mids, which when you talk about the Air Force One, it's like, how could y'all be mad at a pair of Air Force Ones? Which the design was cool, the graffiti element, the additional laces. I just think, again, it's the spikes, bro. Like, people just couldn't get on board with the spikes. Even though the pine greens were dope, too. It's just something about them spikes, yo. Yep. Varsity Maze. And I think this was like the first one with the spikes that dropped. Yeah, looking back on this one, the black. These were dope. The off-white Sheeds. Remember Rasheed Wallace used to rock these in game back in the day? The Nike Zoom Fly. Got the black pair. These dropped back in 2018 as well. The Vault coming in at 42. Now I understand the colors a little bit loud, but I ain't gonna lie, when these dropped in 2018, these were iconic. Like, a lot of people used to get these joints off right here. The Air Max 90. Yeah, so they dropped these after that initial first couple of runs of off-white releases. Yeah, the classic Air Max 90. People were definitely rocking with these, man. This is when like off-white hype was like out of this world in 2019. Like, this is when these joints would like just continue to go up in value. I want to say most of these shoes hit like over $1,000 for a lot of these pairs. The Air Max 97. Air Force One Black. Those went crazy. The Air Max, the Vapor Max. Are they still producing these? Like, or has Nike vaulted that model? Yeah. People used to go crazy for these. The Nike Blazer. You see, if you guys haven't noticed by now, basically Virgil put his touch on a lot of classic Nike models, as well as some of the more recent offerings, like the Hyper Dunk at the time. This was part of that initial first run, right? Yep, the Hollows Eve, I remember them joints, 2018. The Prestos, kind of low for the Prestos, right? The Air Max 90. Another Serena pair. Bro, I ain't gonna lie. The Jordan 2 lows, Virgil made me put some respect on that silhouette. The Dunk lows. Yeah, we gotta keep running through this or we're gonna be here all day, y'all. We gotta get into like the top 10 here. So, sorry if I'm passing up any of your favorite pairs. But we're gonna be here all day, bruh. All right, so as we get into the top 10 here, as my slow ass Key West Wi-Fi catches up on us. Oh yeah, these are the twos right here. Dang, MCA's at 13. The Complex Con joints. Serenas, all right, here we go. Number 8. The Off-White Jordan 1, which we could possibly be seeing something like this returning next year. Number 7, the Off-White Blazer from that OG 10, 2017. Number 6, the Air Max 97. Yeah, the top spots are going to be reserved for that original, the 10 collection. Oh, my bad, I lied. The Off-White Air Jordan 4. This was a women's exclusive drop, but that didn't matter. Everybody... Yo, these had everybody in the chokehold back in 2020. Gotta love that simple sail upper. This one shocked me. I thought we would have saw the 4s over this one, but this is a classic, bro. Like, pre-aged look. When people were still rocking with the pre-aged look, those still go crazy today. The MoMAs. Yeah. Bro, these had resellers in the chokehold. Number 2, the Presto. Okay, yeah, so my bad. There was another Presto. Yeah, that's definitely deserving. That's why I was shocked when I saw the black joints, but I forgot there was 2 different pairs. And then at number 1, what else could it be but the Jordan 1? The first pair which set it off. Still to this day, out of everything, all 70 plus pairs, still tops the list. Such an iconic take on the classic Jordan 1 Chicago. This comes from the deconstructed theme. So you gotta love it, man. When these dropped back in 2017, bro, like this was just such a big vibe. The air on the side. Virgil went ahead and draw his own like little signature on them joints, man. These were iconic. So salute to Virgil, man. RIP to the legend. If you guys are in the Paris area, highly would encourage you to check out what's happening with the exhibition. And when you talk about 2026 with so many unreleased Off-White samples that have been floating around for years now, I mean, what are y'all waiting for? Nike, it's time to make it happen. Let me know what y'all think down below.